Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the video. This is going to be my review slash book talk of The Bad Boy and the Tomboy by Nicole. I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name, because I will butcher it and I don't know how to properly say it, so I would butcher it. But this is going to be all over the place. But I want to just give a quick little backstory of this book, what it means to me. So this is a book that was originally on Wattpad under the same name, and I read it for the first time back in, I think, like summer of 2018, and I fell in love with it. I'd have to say that The Bad Boy and the Tomboy was one of the stories that got me really into reading Wattpad stories and realizing that on Wattpad there are thousands of stories written so amazingly by people just doing it for fun. And I read it, and then I read it again. I think I read it like 4 or 5 times on Wattpad, and I loved it. And I remember in July, was it? June or July, finding out that it was going to be a Wattpad story and literally crying because it's what the book deserved. It's so amazing and it's what it deserves. Now I'm going to get on to the premise of the story and then go into details. I will let you know once spoilers happen, but I am going to try to avoid comparing it to the Wattpad story. I will mention a few big differences that I found that made it feel different in good ways or in bad ways. But I plan on doing an entirely separate video of comparing the differences between the published version and the Wattpad version once I can unlock the Wattpad version again, because ever since it's been a paid story I haven't been able to read it because you need to buy coins for it, and I'm broke. I don't have coins, so I have to do like you can watch ads to gain coins, but you can only do it a certain amount of times in a day, so I'm slowly earning it up. But at the rate I'm looking at, it's gonna be like December by the time I do that, so I will have that video up as soon as I can. I'm going to try to convince my mom to maybe give me a little bit of money to go towards this. But so let's get started with the description of the story and what it's kind of about. We follow a 17-year-old girl named Macy Anderson, who all she cares about really are her friends, her grades, her soccer, and getting a scholarship for university. And we start off, we're in, I don't remember what month, and we start off there. A boy named Cedric, who Macy has been crushing on for years, asks her out, and of course she says yes. She's not an idiot. She says yes to this guy that she's been crushing on that asks her out. But around the same time she and Cedric start dating, Macy becomes friends with Cedric's cousin Sam. And Sam is that stereotypical like bad boy, leather jacket, doesn't give a shit attitude, has a motorcycle, all of that. And as Macy and Sam grow closer in their friendship, that friendship turns to more. And now we're gonna get a little bit into spoilers and all of that. Like, I'm not gonna just sit here and say the entire plot, but I am gonna say some things that for some people might be big plot spoilers. So yeah. I first kind of want to talk about Macy and all of that. Macy is a very athletic girl. She is the captain of the boys soccer team at her school because they don't have a female soccer team. And I just love that how she's just kind of sitting there like, this is my hobby, this is my passion. I don't care if you say I shouldn't do it. I am going to do it and I am going to rock with it. Like, she don't take shit from nobody. Speaking of swearing, she doesn't swear, which is so bizarre to me. she makes up like funny little words to say instead of swears, and then I'm sitting here like younger than her by a year, swearing like a trucker every 2 seconds. Like, it is very hard for me not to swear without, like, say a sentence without swearing. I try to in my videos because, well, YouTube don't like swearing. But in reality, I am a very profanity-based person. I will throw in a swear word even if I don't have to, just because that's how I've been raised. All of my family has sworn a lot, so that reflects on me. But it's weird to see somebody who's a teenager who avoids swearing by making up other words. And that is just bizarre to me. I'm like, oh yeah, people can't swear like I do. Like, I'm a very loudmouth person, and obviously there's some certain situations where I don't swear. I'm not just like swearing around little kids, for example, but you get what I'm saying. And I love Macy. She is very headstrong, and she knows what she wants, and all of that, and she has a little bit of a rough history with her mom dying when she was 9, I think. Yeah, 9. So she's raised by a single dad, and she has a younger brother. Which is interesting, when I first read the story, I was closer to her brother's age than her age, and now I'm closer to her age than her brother's age, which is weird, because like I'm like, I've grown up, but this character hasn't, and like, oh, I've grown up and now I'm close to this character, and it's like, wow. Next, I want to move on and talk about like Sam a little bit, because his story is, whoa. So Sam comes from a very large family. He has a lot of cousins and all of that, and he was a twin, but his sister died when they were 15. Oh god, I feel bad. I think it was when they were 15. So he has the grief of that. It was either when they were 14 or 15, so he has the grief of that. And I think it was when they were 15. Yeah, when they were 15. So he has the grief of that, and that's kind of what gives him that bad boy attitude, is actually him being broken and trying to mask that, which isn't the best thing to do, but obviously it gives us content, so I'm all for it. I love the way that Macy and Sam flirt. More specifically, Sam flirts with Macy, and Macy tries to push it off and be like, yeah, no, all of that, but Sam's personality is just very flirty, and I love that. I'm trying to figure out what else to say that's not spoilers. Okay, this is kind of a spoiler, but also kind of like not. It's a spoiler, but like it's a really big spoiler, but I feel like I want to just talk about it for a second. Is both Sam and Macy end up in a city called Redmond, where they're visiting their grandmas, and they end up forming a little relationship while Macy is with Cedric, and that is something that was in the original story. I knew it was going to happen, but it, like, as I've grown up, it doesn't sit with me as right, because, well, it's cheating, and I'm not an I do not like cheating at all, and all of that, so that does kind of make me like this book less. But then Macy and Cedric do talk about it, and it kind of gets like thrown under the bush, and kind of is like, yeah, I was using you, and you weren't liking me as much as you thought, and it's kind of ended up being like, yeah, whatever, it wasn't like a big thing, but it is a big thing, and that's one thing that just like I don't know how to feel about, and I'm gonna leave it there. That when in doubt, things like cheating, I have like my opinions change so much. I'm like, is like, if someone drunkenly kisses you, is that cheating? No. but is like this type of situation where you form a relationship behind someone's back to get you out of your system. That's what they say, like, let's kiss and let's date for this week to get each other out of their systems. Like, yeah. So it kind of like, when in doubt, a lot of my like morals get changed when it comes to reading different books, and we're not going about my morals. This is how my brain works. It just goes a million miles an hour, and I see what thought takes the wheel. I'm trying to think of what other things that I want to talk about. A lot of the things are like comparisons of differences between the book and the like the Wattpad book and the published book, and I'm going to talk about just a few big differences that I feel I need to mention. Like in the Wattpad version, Sam and Cedric are brothers, and they come from a larger family. There are like 12 of them in total, like 12 people in total, versus the published book. They cut that down. They made it so that like they all of the siblings were cousins. Like they were like cousins, but then some of them were still siblings, and it was like, it's kind of all over the place. But like I see why they did that, to make it like, first of all, not have it be like a girl is fighting between two brothers but two cousins, and just to probably like condense the characters and make it a little bit easier to understand, because a lot of the characters ended up having smaller roles. And that is another thing, that this book is, I think, do not quote me, but is about half the size of the original Wattpad story. I think the original Wattpad story is, I think, between 300,000 and 350,000 words, versus the published one, I think, again, do not quote me, is somewhere a little bit over 100,000, but like under 150,000. I could be wrong. I do not have the physical number in front of me. I do not know the physical number, but it is definitely shorter. So a lot of things did have to get cut that I felt were cool and that I liked. Some things were shortened and all of that. Some characters, a lot of characters' parts were cut, or things like that. Characters were pushed as more of a side character than a main character. I am glad that a lot of the characters stayed, because I was worried when I heard that on Nicole's Twitter that, oh, some characters are being cut, and I was like, oh, which characters? And one of the characters that I really love in the book, in like the Wattpad book, got cut, and I'm a little bit like, oh, I like that character, but I see why, because they were kind of, again, really just like a side character that's kind of like, hey, I'll show up every few chapters and just say, how's it going type thing. So yeah, I'm not really sure what else to say. Like, a lot of the things are comparing things and all of that, and I'm gonna leave that for a separate video. I've already have a note on my phone, not on my phone, on my iPad about differences already, but I want to reread both of them to like confirm those differences and point out other little differences that I couldn't see based on it, because it's been almost a year since I read the Wattpad version, which is weird to say, but yeah, I think it was like last November, I think, and it's October, so yeah, almost a year. So yeah, I want to know if you've read this book. Leave your opinions in the comments. If you read the Wattpad version, let me know your thoughts on the differences. But yeah, this was just a quick video. I wanted to talk about it, and it ended up being going off on mini rants and all that, but that's me and all of that. I am still so excited that this got published. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!